At Drumeo, do you have a small smeckerel of honey? Aaron from Drumeo is walking towards us with a fire extinguisher. Hey, burn down. We're on fire! What a blast.
That's 70s fade out, man.
Oh my gosh, was that super fun.
Dude, I'm so glad you're here. I've been looking forward to this stream all week. And basically since the last time you were here 5 years ago.
Wow.
And I wanted to sit here and watch you play. So thanks for being here, man.
I want to tell you how much I love your playing.
Thank you, man.
On all the Drumeo stuff. And that breakdown on Ringo was first class.
I'm honored.
Super cool.
Thank you. So for any of you out there who don't know Gregg, I'm sure you all do because I think Jared even said in the stream you did 5 years ago, you're a household name. Everyone knows Gregg Bissonette. But I just want to read off a few names that you've played with and a few of the things that you've done.
Thank you.
You've worked with Maynard Ferguson, David Lee Roth, Santana, Ozzy Osbourne, Don Henley, Spinal Tap, Ringo Starr since 2003. Crazy drumming royalty that you're around all the time.
He's my hero, my favorite.
So cool. You've played drums on lots of TV and movie soundtracks. Finding Nemo, Superbad, Family Guy, all 10 seasons of Friends on NBC, which is crazy.
Oh, what a blast. That was my brother Matt and I, 10 years of that cool show.
And we'll talk more about you and your brother because you guys have done so much together.
Please.
Recording and live stuff. You were voted Best All-Around Drummer in Modern Drummers 2023 Readers Poll.
What an honor,
which
man.
Which is no surprise.
Mind-blowing.
You're also the voice of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, bother. That's right, Brendan. At Drumeo, do you have a small smeckerel of honey? Ross, would you have any honey thereabouts? Christopher Robin and I would love some honey.
See, now that you're in that, we're doing the whole stream like that. This is no longer Gregg Bissonette. This is Winnie the Pooh on Drumeo.
It's a blustery day at Drumeo, but we're having fun playing the drums.
I love it, man.
Oh, man.
If you want to follow Gregg, all his social links are down in the description. And lastly, we do this kind of stuff on YouTube all the time with guests like Gregg, but we also have a full membership area on Drumeo where we have 5,000 song transcriptions and drumless tracks, including lots of stuff Gregg has played on, so you can get nitty-gritty, note-for-note details for what he's done. We have a method that will teach you how to play the drums and a ton of other really cool stuff. Lots of David Lee Roth transcriptions.
Yeah, man.
Elephant Gun, Shy
Who does all
Boy.
your transcriptions?
We have a whole team.
Oh, everybody.
People around the world.
They're really well done.
Yeah. So all that stuff's available, drumeo.com/trial. You can try Drumeo free for 7 days. And with that, we got a lot to get through. We're going to be playing, I think you've got 8 songs prepped.
Wow, I'm going to do 8 songs.
You're going to do 8. I haven't even told you what they are yet.
Oh, man, I can't wait. We're going to revisit a lot of things I haven't played in many, many years. So how fun is that?
Yeah, and I know when we were talking originally, Gregg, you've played with so many bands that I thought it'd be fun to kind of walk through the career. We can't cover everything, but we can cover something.
Thank you, Brandon.
So I want to start with, obviously you played with Maynard Ferguson first.
Yeah, that was my first gig out of college. My brother Matt was already playing bass, and that would have been 82 and 82, 83. That was super fun. We did an album called Live in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Maynard was the coolest guy. My prayers were, God, help me get a gig with Maynard. And it's a lot of nepotism and somebody's next door neighbor.
Yeah.
And finally, I got that gig, my brother and I both. So what a blast.
Awesome. And then from there, somehow you went from playing with Maynard Ferguson to David Lee Roth, which is super cool. So how did you get that gig?
Okay.
And then we'll play some David Lee Roth stuff.
Sure. Well, after Maynard Ferguson, my brother and I worked with Gino Vanelli for a little while. And then my dear friend Myron Grombacher, he said, what do you want to do, man? I said, I want to play in a rock band. And so he recommended me to Vinnie Vincent, the guitar player that had just been in Kiss, Lick It Up. And Vinnie was looking for a drummer. But Vinnie said, man, I've already got a drummer, but you'd be good for Dave Roth's band. I said, Dave Roth? He said, David Lee Roth. I said, he's in Van Halen. He goes, well, he just left Van Halen. He just got Billy Sheehan and Steve Vai, and they're looking for a drummer.
Yeah.
And by the grace of God and a lot of prayers, I got that gig with David Lee Roth. That was 7 years, 85 to 92. And amazing. In between Maynard and David Lee Roth, I just did a lot of playing in local bands, and we would play Dance the Night Away.
Yeah.
And so I haven't played it since probably 83 or 84, but it was fun to play that just now. We never did that on tour with Dave, but we did do a song that I think might be coming up next. I don't want to give it away, but should I?
Yeah, let's do it.
Unchained. That guitar intro.
So
and I just had the honor of playing that with Taylor's band, Chevy Metal, in L.A. Wiley Hodgkins, my great friend, plays bass and sings, and Dave Grohl played guitar, and Brent Woods played guitar, and Shane, Taylor Hawkins' son, came out and played a lot. And so I got to play Unchained, and Jamie's Crying, and Everybody Wants Some. With Dave Grohl and Wiley and
that's awesome.
Brent. It was so much fun. So we could do that one because we did do that live on the David Lee Roth Eat 'Em and Smile tour.
Yeah, and fair warning, as a Van Halen fan, such an underrated record, in my opinion, and I'm stoked to see you play this, man.
Well, Alex's parts, Eddie, Michael Anthony, Dave, what a band, man. Yeah. What a band.
Let's do it. This is Unchained.
Let's do it.
I cannot get there from here.
a fun song to play.
Dude.
It was cool looking over. You know every lick,
Dude,
man.
that's like one of my favorite Van Halen songs.
How about that intro?
So good.
Oh,
the
man.
pre-chorus where it almost sounds odd time, but it's just all the accents shifting and
You know,
so
a lot
sweet.
of Van Halen songs, Panama, Jump, Unchained, it's all in 4, but it's so shifting.
Yeah.
It sounds like a different time signature, right?
Yeah. I could see some people in the chat. We're talking about the charts you have on your music stand, and you said this is something you do for pretty much all the bands and artists you work with, but do you have the Unchained chart up right now?
I do. I have the chart in my little backpack back there, but here's what it looked like. I took a photo of it from my iPad. This is my chart from back in the day, Unchained. It's kind of, not really a transcription, but I'll say verse 8.
Yeah.
B, wash. A bar, do, ba, do, ba, da, do. 5 bars, so 1 and 5 is 6, and then, and that's the chorus right there.
Yeah.
Chorus, wash. So anyway, these are the kind of charts I write. And one of the coolest things is I don't ever have a music stand up here like this. I do this now because I haven't played these songs in a long time. But Jeff Chonas, our drum tech with the Ringo band, Ringo Starr and his All-Star band, he built me this really cool wooden black box with a light. And I reduced all this to like file card size, and I can have it right there.
Nice.
And look down. Because with Ringo, one of the cool things, Brandon, is Ringo says, hey man, everybody's doing different endings because the All-Stars, they have different live endings.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'll make notes and I'll write down these endings. He says, great, keep making those notes and cue me because I don't want to think about it. I just want to have fun and look out and see somebody with a yellow submarine cutout and a pink Sergeant Pepper suit. He just wants to have fun. So I get to look down whenever we change stuff and have little notes there because I mainly want to be looking at the band.
Yeah.
And especially I want to be looking at my drum hero, my dad, Bud Bissonette and Ringo Starr are the reasons I wanted to play the drums and still do to this day. And he's the reason I wanted to be in a band and still be in a band today, his band, the All-Star band. So I have those little charts kind of reduced down and they're just right there and you can flip them like a file card thing.
Nice.
Just so you don't, I hate making mistakes, you know.
Yeah.
The drummer kind of drives the bus, as you know. And when you're playing in a band, you get to kind of fill into the next section. It might be tight hi-hat verse, open it up on the B section, bell of the cymbal for the chorus, bring it down. And the drummer, if you aren't aware of the changes in the form, the dynamics, you can't really drive that bus well. So I just kind of want to know, how are we doing it different tonight? You know?
Yeah, love it.
Thanks, Brandon.
So after David Lee Roth, let's jump ahead to Joe Satriani.
Yeah, so
we have a song coming up called Summer Song.
that was so much fun.
How did this happen? Your brother was on this record too.
Yes, he was. Here's how it all happened. Joe was looking for a rhythm section that played a lot, and Steve Lukather, who I helped get him into Ringo's All-Star Band.
Nice.
He helped get Matt and I into the Joe Satriani gig. He said to Joe, well, Matt and Gregg Bissonette, they're brothers, they're best friends. They play all the time together. So we went down to a place called Leeds in North Hollywood, and Andy Johns was there. And I'm like, Andy Johns? This is the guy that engineered and produced and everything, so many bands. He said, what do you want your drums to sound like on the record? I said, you did When the Levee Breaks.
Like that.
How about like that? And he goes, well, I know what to do. I said, I know you know what to do. So he said, you know, no holes in the bass drum. He took a Sennheiser 421, suspended it in the kick, soldered it, and it was dangling like that. And top and bottom on all the toms, mics all over the room. He even rented a big PA and ran the drums through that and mic'd it. But that song called Friends, can I play a little bit of that?
Yeah, of course.
So that was really that kind of sound that he got. That's the first one we did. And then we did Summer Song. And the funny thing about Summer Song is that Joe had a demo with the drum machine playing.
Yeah.
And he said to me, I like that take a lot, but the recovery time. And Brandon, you and I would be going, Joe, what do you mean recovery time? Now, Chris, our engineer, he's a guitarist. I don't even know if Chris would know. I said, Joe, what does that mean? He goes, well, you're going, bang. I said, yeah, bang, da. He said, can you not go bang, pause, recover, and then what do you want me to do? Listen to my drum machine. I said, that's very undrumistic, but man, I am here, and this is the theme of being a recording session drummer, being in a band. I mean, look at Ringo on the Get Back movie. Yeah. He's listening, he's checking out the songwriting, he's checking out different things. If that's what the writer of that song is hearing, it's not hard, it's just different.
It's like becoming less human and more machine.
Less human.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but that's what, but people get demo love, you know? And
Yeah.
Joe loved Andy Johns' sounds, so he was all about it.
Yeah.
And he let me do my thing. That Friends beat, God, that wasn't like that on the demo. Andy said, what would you do? And I thought Steve Gadd meets John Bonham. So Joe went, he said, I love that. So that's what a band's like, you know, you come up with ideas. But Summer Song was cool. If you go to YouTube and you type in Joe Satriani Summer Song video, you'll see the video that we did in sepia, and it's at a racetrack, like a demolition derby racetrack.
Yeah.
Cars are smashing into us, smashing into each other all around us. One car blows up. It's super fun, but it's Matt, my brother, playing bass, and Joe Satriani and I doing that video. That was fun too. So please watch that.
Yeah, and let's hear you play the track.
Okay,
and
it's been a long time.
This is from The Extremist
It's an album called The Extremist. Yeah, Matt played bass, and I played drums, and Andy Johns engineered, and of course Joe Satriani, one of the greatest guitar players of all time, and one of the greatest pals, friends, you know. that's how we ended it live. I know we didn't fade out.
It's always a fade out.
Imagine fading that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that song just drives the whole way through.
Brandon,
so good.
It was so cool because it's kind of like AC/DC, you know.
Yeah.
Faster version maybe of like Back in Black or something, but it's just with the occasional boom, boom, pop.
Yeah.
And man, it was fun. It took me back to being at Ocean Way, the big room.
Yeah.
With Matt right there and Joe right there and Andy Johns in there. Seems like it was yesterday. But what was it, like 92 or something?
That was 92.
Man.
Yeah. We're going to jump ahead 5 years.
Okay.
So now you're playing with Andy Summers from The Police.
Yeah.
And you did an album, The Last Dance of Mr. X.
Yeah. Okay, so that was so much fun. My good friend Jerry Watts, great bass player in LA, he recommended me to Andy, and I started doing some fun gigs with him. We'd play, you know, the Baked Potato in North Hollywood, Catalina Bar and Grill. And then we went on a little tour. We played Jazz Alley in Washington, D.C. And then Andy asked me to do his album called The Last Dance with Mr. X. And Tony Levin was playing bass.
Yeah.
And we rehearsed for 3 or 4 days. And he just wanted to take originals and some real book tunes. Hence this one here, Afro Blue. I don't have a chart on Afro Blue, but I'm going to try to remember it. All I remember him saying was, just go crazy on the drums for a minute or two in the beginning. Really?
Every drummer's dream.
Okay. So I don't really even remember what I did, but it was a lot of... And he went... The Police, I know what a huge Stuart Copeland fan you are, and I am too. Those 3 guys, Stuart Copeland, Andy Summers, and Sting, man, oh man, oh man. To me, the Beatles, the Police, Old Van Halen, Led Zeppelin. I mean, there's so many great bands, but they were just huge. So, of course, I had to take my little 10-inch tom and go crank, 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 and some of the songs, bow, and do all that. But Afro Blue is a jazz standard. Bo-be-doo-da, ba-ba-ba. So we decided to make it like a... But you got to think of the song form for the head, the melody. And then Andy just took an open solo. And I listened to this, but I haven't played this since that album. Love Andy, though. He played on one of my albums, Submarine, and the song that my brother wrote. Anyway, called Wildwood. And so let's give it a try. I know there's an open solo in the beginning. I think Chris is going to cue me when I come in with the groove. So
Nice.
Should we try it?
Let's do it, man.
Beautiful. Oh, man, it's been a long time.
Just
Jack.
like it was yesterday.
Oh, buddy, thank you.
Let's jump ahead a few more years. So we're moving to ELO, Electric Light Orchestra. 2001, the Zoom tour.
Man.
What happened with this? And then we're going to play Mr. Blue Sky.
Let's play Mr. Blue Sky. In fact, something tells me that Aaron from Drumeo is walking towards us with a fire extinguisher.
You're on fire, Greg.
We're on fire! That's another Van Halen
Great
song,
song.
or Hendrix song. So the story about the fire extinguisher is my brother Matt and I were in ELO, and the first rehearsal we did, we were doing Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Tung, 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 biddly, 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 sun is shining. And I hear this bing, 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 bing. And I said, Jeff, what's that sound? Is that the bell of a cymbal? And he said, well, it's a fire extinguisher. I said, what? No, it's a fire extinguisher. That's the Birmingham Jeff Lindley. He said, it's a fire extinguisher. A fire extinguisher. So, of course, I grab a fire extinguisher, and it sounds like this. And he says, no, you got to empty it. What? You got to empty it. So the drum tech and I went up on the roof at CBS in Hollywood. We emptied the whole thing. Now, this is a full fire
That one's
extinguisher.
full.
So it's not going to have the ping, 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 but it's still going to be close. When you have a completely empty fire extinguisher, it's like a brake drum.
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing. I haven't really played this exact arrangement, so I made a few notes. Let's see if I can get close to the original, because we always had our version.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
toes on fire extinguisher,
Dude,
man.
I never thought I'd be sitting beside you playing a fire extinguisher in the Drumeo studio on Mr. Blue Sky.
With a cool Ringo shirt. Where did you
What can I
get
say?
that?
Ringo Starr's online store.
That's a great shirt right there, man.
No,
Thank
it's
you
cool.
for doing that, Brandon.
Of course, man. We'll let Aaron take out the
Thank you, Aaron.
the hazard on
You're the
set.
man.
Oh, it's great.
Wow, that was fun.
So I want to move into, I think, one of the coolest parts of your career, all your soundtrack work on TV shows and movies.
Oh,
Some of the ones I had no idea you played on, and I think on your website there's a whole list of all the ones you played. But you played on all 10 seasons of Friends, Family Guy, King of the Hill, Jeopardy, The Muppets, some movies, Superbad, The Bucket List, Devil Wears Prada, Finding Nemo, the list goes on. What is being a drummer in that kind of world like? How does that all work?
thank you, Brandon. Well, the number one thing, I don't care what anybody tells you, if you can't read really well, then they don't call you back. They put 30 charts up there.
Yeah.
And they go, okay, M116. And there's a big, huge, it's like the size of a Ralph's grocery store. That's our big, like a Walgreens,
Yeah.
Walmart. And so there's a big Walmart, and there's a 100-piece orchestra there, trumpets, trombones, saxophones, violins, cellos, timpani, percussion, everything, upright bass, string, bow, arco. And so then you have a big, huge screen that's like the whole back wall. It's like the size of a billboard. And there's this code that goes, beep, 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 and that's the count up. And you get 8 free to bar 1. Or the conductor, there's a great conductor there too. He'll say 4 to 1. That just means pay attention, 4 clicks to bar 1. You might not be in at bar 1, but it's the screen,
Yeah.
the marker, beep, 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 da, 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 da. On the third bar, ding, ding. It's a Family Guy. Okay, good. Let's check it. And then 5M4. And you go through all your charts. And then they say, oh, on this one, Gregg, go out and play Vibes. Vibes. I haven't played 4 mallet anything since I was in the North Texas, marimba, Yellow
Yeah.
After the Rain, Vibes. And luckily, Brian Kilgore, who's a great first call percussionist, and Bob Leatherbarrow, they're playing vibes and marimbas and timpani and all the stuff on this session. He shows me my part. Please tell me it's not in bass clef. No, it's in treble clef. Okay, here
Thank
you go.
goodness.
So there's some sus cymbal stuff. But when you do vibes and sus cymbal or a little marimba note or something, you get an extra pay scale for each one of those instruments you do. So Family Guy's super fun. Movies, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, Superbad, Sex and the City, like you mentioned, great well-written charts of what to do. And usually it's not like a transcription so much as it is how many bars go in here. Every single bar, Brandon, is numbered because Chris will say, okay, guys, we're giving 32 for 35. Or let's say 33 for 35. That means they're going to start playing bar 33, bar 34, and you're in on bar 35. And you need to play along because it won't be a good punch unless you play along.
Yeah.
So there's all these little tricks, 8 free to bar 1. I ask my students, what does 8 free to bar 1 mean? And they go, I don't know. It means you get 8 free clicks. Click, 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 bang, there's bar 1.
Yeah.
But all these movies, TV shows, jingles, the charts are there. And if you can't read, they don't use you.
Yeah. Crazy, man. Well, I want to do one track from a movie I didn't know you played on. You play in the closing credits to Finding Nemo.
Oh, yeah, that was super fun.
And I think this is like track 40 on the soundtrack of, I guess, the international version. You
Yeah,
said.
the international version, my friend Rick Dempsey, he was the senior vice president of character voices at Disney, and he hired my brother to play upright bass on Bobby Darin's Somewhere Beyond the Sea. But it was a different version, and they had like the Japanese version, the, version in Mexico, the Portuguese in Brazil. And so all these different voiceover people would sing. So I'm playing along and I'm looking at it, and there's such a thing as the DS and a double DS and a coda and a double coda. I had a DS and I had a coda, but I didn't have the double DS in the road map. And so Matt was over by the wall and I said, hey, Matt, I don't have a double DS. Do you have a double DS? And all of a sudden this voice from the control room, please come in the control room. I'm going to bring my chart and show them.
Yeah.
I don't have a double DS. And I walk in and I go, I don't have it. They go, wait a minute, don't worry about it. You have that hoarse voice we've been looking for to do backup for Winnie the Pooh. And so for about 6 months, I just worked on, first of all, parroting Jim Cummings and the original Winnie the Pooh, Sterling Holloway.
Yeah.
And then I tried to take acting lessons and learn how to read scripts and stuff, and a lot of transcribing of words with dynamics. I tell people, I used to just transcribe Vinny, now I transcribe Vinny and Winnie.
Who would have thought?
Oh, bother. So anyway, yeah, we were doing that. And another thing with recording sessions and with, you never know, drummers, when, don't turn down any gigs, right? Doan Perry, one of my best friends, recommended me to do a Broadway musical album with the Broadway musical singer, and this great piano player, Michael Skloff, was playing piano. And after a couple days, we just really hit it off. And he said, my wife is trying to create a TV show, and you're really fun to hang with, and you read great, you play different styles, and your brother's a great bass player. If my wife gets this show, you guys are the drums and bass. It was Friends.
Of course
Marta
it was.
Kaufman, she created Friends, and Michael was a musical director. So all those scenes, they're on the couch, then they go to the bowling alley, and they need a little bumper. Pop, 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 bling. Great. If we liked it, we did the football touchdown or field goal. So that was 10 years.
Crazy.
And that's all, AFM, musician royalty stuff too. And it's in syndication. So it's really great. But Michael, thank you for that amazing gig. My brother and I, thank you very, very much.
So I guess whenever your friend or a friend of a friend says, I have this idea, never say no, because you never know what it could be.
You never know, man. You could be playing the craziest gig, and you say, why am I doing this gig? There's nobody in the audience, but the guitar player could have some lead that's going to get you the next gig with so-and-so,
Crazy, man. Well, let's do Beyond the Sea.
Okay.
Closing credits of Finding Nemo.
Yeah, that's been a long, long time. So thank God Chris played me while I was in the control room, and I made my little chart on...
You did this up until 5 minutes before
I did this about 5 minutes
started.
before I said, what happens? Oh, there's a 4-bar intro, and then there's a hi-hat, cross stick, then it goes to the ride cymbal, and you swing a little. Then there's a press roll into beat 3 on bar 12. And then there's somewhere in the beat section, there's a hit, 1, 2, bop, bop, bop. But then after a 12-bar verse, it gets a big drum fill. 1, 2, 3, bop, bop, bop. Ba, do, da, ba, ba, 2, 3, 4, 1, bop, bop. So that's what we have, and I'm going to try my
I believe it's, I think it's going to work.
You think it's going to work?
Yeah.
Let's give her a shot, as they say. A 1, 2, 3.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing. Somewhere beyond the sea, she's there watching for me. If I could fly like birds on high, then straight to her arms I'll go sailing. It's far beyond the stars, it's near beyond the moon. I know beyond a doubt my heart will lead me there soon. We'll meet beyond the shore, we'll kiss just like before. Happy we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing.
All right.
It's a song outside the box that you probably don't ever get to play. So.
Man, I've never played that since whenever that was. And
We have a track record of making drummers or asking drummers to play songs they haven't played in a very long time.
wow, that was fun, boy.
There's a few other things I want to talk about. We did a whole episode on the Drum Department show on the Drumeo channel where you talked about Ringo and the Beatles. So go check that out once this is posted. But I don't want to ignore the fact that you've been Ringo's drummer since 2008 or 2003.
Well, what happened in 2003, I got the gig and my brother was in this band, Ringo's other band called Ringo and the Roundheads.
Yeah.
When he does an album and he plays on Kimmel or The Tonight Show, then he needs a band. And so in 2008, I joined the All-Star Band.
Okay.
And so that's been 16 years now. So he's 4 feet away. He's my dear friend. He's my favorite drummer, my favorite song drummer, the reason I want to be in a band.
Yeah. We're going to get you to break down the solo from the end.
Oh,
The
wow.
classic Ringo drum parts. But before we do that, I know you probably talk about Ringo all the time, but
I love it.
is there one story or one lesson you've learned from Ringo that's just stuck with you from day one?
There is. Once on our first rehearsal, I asked him on Long Tall Sally with my headphones, I hear a crash, I hear a cymbal and another cymbal and a snare and a floor tom and a bass drum, but it's sextuplets. Biddly, 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 biddly. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Woo! Everything's all right. And Paul's singing the way up there, tenor part. And I said, how did you do that? What were you doing? He said, I'm glad you asked me. He said, I lead left with the crash of the bass drum. He did this. And you can see the Washington, D.C. concert, he does that. And he said, when I wanted the girls to scream, I'd put my head down. Wow, man. So that lesson, he said, there's a lesson for you. That was a great lesson.
And that's not an easy sticking pattern. Like,
No.
I think for anyone who throws shade at Ringo, try playing that. That's not easy.
If anybody throws shade at Ringo, they're an idiot.
Yeah,
Because they
agreed.
don't know how hard it is to be in a band and play the right parts.
Yeah.
If your guys are going boom, boom, biddle-da-da, and you decide to go, that's an iconic part of the song. Tomorrow Never Knows. In my life, 1 hi-hat per bar. We did an amazing episode on Ringo. Ticket to Ride. Those are parts that work with the band.
Yeah.
Ringo has a lot of chops. Let me tell you, sometimes at sound check, he doesn't usually play match grip, but he'll take a stick and go like this. But and Jeff Jonas, the drum tech, and I look at him and go, how are you doing that? He says, well, just like this. And I'm like, he's got a lot of technique. Check out those double stops and help. Or and Ticket to Ride. That's like Buddy Rich speed. But he just doesn't put it in the wrong place because he wants to play musical and for the song.
Yeah.
You know all about that,
Love
Brandon.
that, man. So let's talk about the end.
Yeah.
What's going on there? That's like the quintessential Ringo drum solo.
It's the only one I've ever known him to play. And it's 8 bars long, and you can set a metronome, and it stays there. And of course, they weren't playing with a click, but it's and this is a 4-piece kit. He had the maple kit with the extra toms, so I won't be playing it, the right drums and everything, but I'll play the rhythms. But basically, what I love about the end is he keeps the bass drum percolating. Because so many drummers, they play solos, they even play fills, and they don't keep the bass drum going. Like this beat. The front row, you lose all those 18-inch subs going ball, 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 ball. If you keep the bass drum percolating, boom, boom, it helps the band groove. That's exactly what he does with his bass drum during this very thematic solo.
Yeah.
You ready?
Let's do it.
And everybody in the band had been playing solos Paul's playing a guitar solo, so is John, and so is George. And it's like, Ringo, play a solo. He's not about solos, but he did that. And what a musical 8 bars.
Yeah.
And it goes, don't love you. And in the end, what an amazing song.
For any right-handed drummers, because he was leading with the left.
Leading with the left.
It's challenging to get the phrasing and up to the high tom.
Absolutely.
Because it's not natural for us going up that way. So
yeah, and then that extra tom too, you know.
Yeah.
He's leading left. Even my favorite Ringo fill probably is this one. And he does it like this. But I lead with the right. Baby, you can drive my car. And so many songs.
Yeah.
It's just got that swing to it.
Yeah.
He swings, man.
all the stuff we have from Gregg in the Drumeo members area, you can get a free trial, drumeo.com/trial, including some really cool workout videos that we did, which are only going to be available for the members, and one of them may or may not be an hour long.
May or may not.
So we've never done that before, but Gregg is hilarious and the perfect and only guy I would ever put through that, but also you made it so fun.
What could be more fun than doing a groove workout for an hour?
I don't know, man. You're the perfect guy.
Thank you, Brandon.
Gregg, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Blast.
I love all you guys, man. The first time I met Jared years ago at the NAMM show, and Dave, and meeting you, and of course Aaron, and just all the guys here. Everybody is such a great person, and the whole team is so wonderful. And it's just so great to come up here for a few days and hang out.
Yeah.
Abbotsford.
Abbotsford.
But
all the same.
All the same. Stanton Moore always jokes and calls it Abbotsville.
Yeah.
It's Abbotsford, outside of Vancouver.
So we're going to close out with, this song came out in 2021, Michael Collins from your band, the Reddcoats.
Yeah. Can I tell you about that band?
Please.
So it's all my brother's writing. Matt writes all the music and sings the songs, but he's been on the road with Elton John for the last 12 years, and he's not one of those guys that's going out to clubs. He sits in his hotel room and writes songs, or he goes to the movies. He's seen every movie known to man. But he wrote this song, Michael Collins, about Michael Collins, the astronaut, that was the one in the rocket when they landed on the moon, and Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were on the moon. While Neil and Buzz were on, you were all alone. Here's to you, Michael Collins. And he just passed away not long ago. So the song's called Michael Collins. It's Matt singing and playing bass, and he wrote it and produced it. And then Andy Timmons, a great guitar player, playing guitar, and Wally Minkow playing piano, keyboards on this, and then Mike Medina, who plays great percussion. He also plays great bass, and he's a great drummer. I met him in Drumline at North Texas, and he mixes it. He does the mixing. So here's a song that I have not played in a long time. We only played this once live. We only did one show so far.
Yeah.
And this is a song we played. So bear with me on this one. I made a little chart. I made a little cheat sheet for Michael Collins. Probably looks like crazy, but
it does the job.
It does the job. Hopefully, we'll see at the end.
Gregg, thank you so much.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thanks to all of you out there watching, hanging out with us. And Gregg, we'll definitely have to have you back because this is too much fun. Tons of stuff coming from Gregg in the next year or more. And I'll let you take it away.
your solace when you close